Tucker Carlson. Tonight, big news. Day 2 of the Democratic National Convention will start shortly. Tonight, former President Bill Clinton, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, Sandy, will speak. That ought to be worth watching. We'll have live coverage of all of it throughout the night right here on Fox News.
Watching the bartender speak. That'll be fun.
Those who enjoy mandatory corporate diversity seminars and those who don't. If you find yourself in the former category, you must have loved last night's Democratic convention. The preachy self-righteousness, the condescension, the shameless lying, the strange mixture of guilt and aggression. It probably all felt refreshingly familiar.
You know, the idiocy, the moronism, the buffoonery.
It seemed like the weirdest infomercial ever made. At one point, they dragged out grouchy old John Kasich, a man with the charm of a high school science teacher, to try to sell you things. No thanks. Who would buy that? If the DNC was in direct marketing, they would be bankrupt by now. But the weirdest moment by far of the night was Andrew Cuomo's speech. Cuomo was the brother of CNN's weightlifting correspondent, is also the sitting governor of New York, which is the second biggest Democratic state. His father famously gave the DNC keynote back in 1984. So there was never any question that Andrew Cuomo was going to speak at this year's convention. What we did not expect in a million years was Andrew Cuomo to talk about the coronavirus. You'd think that would be the last thing, the very last thing Cuomo would want to talk about, that and the fact that his top aide is now doing 6 years in prison for bribery. But coronavirus especially. Whatever you think of Andrew Cuomo, and he's a good talker, you can't say he's done a good job with the pandemic. Citizens of New York State have been 4 times as likely to die as other Americans from the coronavirus. And there's a reason for that. Andrew Cuomo forced corona-infected patients into nursing homes. Many thousands perished as a result of that decision. It is possible that no leader on earth mishandled the coronavirus outbreak as profoundly as Andrew Cuomo did. A man with integrity would have resigned immediately. Cuomo refused to do that. Now he brags about it, literally. Last night, Cuomo told the audience what a great job he did managing the coronavirus. Nobody laughed at him. They applauded, like they agreed.
Like seals.
The whole thing was like watching Jeffrey Epstein boast about his internship program. You could barely believe it was happening, but it was. Here's part of it.
New Yorkers were ground zero for the COVID virus and have gone from one of the highest infection rates on the globe to one of the lowest. We climbed the impossible mountain, and right now we are on the other side. Our nation is in crisis, and in many ways, COVID is just a metaphor. A virus attacks when the body is weak and when it cannot defend itself. The European virus infected the Northeast while the White House was still fixated on China.
European virus. Wow. Denial much?
And for all the pain and all the tears, our way worked. And it was beautiful.
The European virus? Huh? Oh, right. The deadly pathogen that escaped from the lab in Luxembourg last winter. Those damn Europeans. Always infecting us with their diseases. If only they would stop eating bats. What world is this?
Clown
It's a
world.
world of such pure dishonesty that all reference points have disappeared from sight. There are no facts left, only assertions. Andrew Cuomo says the way he handled the coronavirus was, quote, beautiful. And so it was. Cuomo declared it. It's now reality. This is a very specific style of political rhetoric. It's a departure from what we had before. Politicians used to try to convince you of things. The assumption was you were in charge. You were the voter, which is to say you were the boss. If they wanted the job, they had to win you over. It turned out to be a cumbersome process.
Not anymore.
Now they just
Not anymore.
into accepting their program. If you don't like their program, it's your fault. You're the bad guy. You're immoral. Michelle Obama can teach a master's class